Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And let's say hello to a few folks this morning and hope you're enjoying the start of your day. And hello. Here we go. And Michael from Norland, good morning. Brahim, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 2 and 1, 1 and 2. You guys. Right at the top. Okay, Lori Lee, Ventura, California. Eric, Ottawa. Sandy, good morning. And Bill, how are you? Nice to have you on this morning. Keith, good to have you on, my dear friend. Doris, Kitchener. Nellie, good morning. And Karen from Kincardine. And Carrie from Nebraska, good morning. Wendy, Markham, good morning. Nick from our staff. And Ron, Northern Idaho. How are you, Ron? Bruno, North Bay. Kevin, Oshawa, good morning. Francis Marie. And Mary from Norwich. Sandy from Western Canada. Barbara, Nova Scotia. Cecilia. Shediac, Fran, Orangeville, good morning. Rose, how are you? And Donna from Newfoundland, Maryland, Kelowna. And Debbie, good morning. Gary from Bolton, how are you? Yolande, bonjour. And Cecilia from Sudbury, where's that? And Barbara from Kansas. And Rhoda. And Cheryl, West Virginia. Oh, I want to sing so bad. Linda. And was that Lori ahead of that? I didn't see. Denise, good morning. Judy. And Len and Judy from Edmonton, Alberta. Jean, Peterborough. Yvonne, Petawawa. Gertie, good morning from Burlington. Eget, bonjour from Hearst, Ontario. And was that Bonnie? How are you? Rain Cloud, how are you from Michigan? Mara, Windsor. And Darlene, good morning from Saskatchewan. Carol, couple more here from Newfoundland. Linda and Rita and Mary, P-E-I. And Natalie from Chapet, Quebec. How are you? Bowmanville. See, it gets up into and Cindy. And there's Ron, Karen, Sue, Saint Marie. Faye, good morning. And Sandra, I'm going to say hello to Dr. McCune because I always see her name afterwards. Lori, Niagara Falls. And Victoria, Saskatoon. And Sherry, I want to sing. Cindy and Wendy from London. Good morning, Donna from Bell Valley. Okay, now, let me answer a few questions that I saw yesterday before I get into a couple of studies here that I want to bring to you, or at least news articles, okay? Because people ask these good questions. We're sort of at a time of reset. Now, any time's a good time to do the reset, okay? But let's just say that a lot of people have signed up or told us they're going to do the reset, either the 30-day or the 1 week, okay? Now, I recommend the 1 week for those who are already metabolically all right, but maybe have gotten off track a little bit because of the holidays, okay? And you live on planet Earth, guys. And I always want to give you a plan to succeed, not to fail, okay? So if you get off track, it happens, okay? And I want to tell you that health is a journey. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint, okay? It's not a sprint. It's lifestyle. It's making right choices almost all the time. And look, You know, I always talk about that. You need desire, determination, and discipline, okay, in life, in every aspect of our lives to be successful. And when it comes to eating, you need the 3 Ds. Desire, hey, I want to get better. I want to be healthy. Determination, that goes from here, 18 inches it moves. Okay? I don't care what it, here's what that is, okay? What's determination? I don't care what anybody else thinks. This is for me, and I'm doing it. That's determination. Okay, desire, yeah, that's good. It's a start. I want to get better. But determination is, I'm going to get better. And I'm going to do what needs to be done to do it. And then the third part is discipline. And again, that is the day-to-day, moment-to-moment choices that you make. Sometimes, especially with food, it's several times a day. You're going to have to make a choice. Now, what's so wonderful about the reset? Okay, here's what's wonderful about it. One thing for sure, you're making better choices. When you eat an egg, any way you like it, any way you slice it, when you eat meat, or when you eat cheese, and when I say cheese, I mean butter, look, somebody asked me yesterday about yogurt. If it's Greek, plain, nothing added, it's dairy. Okay, there's some natural sugars in milk. I'm not worried about that. I like cream better because then there's no sugars in it at all. But guys, listen, it's doable, but that's where the determination comes in. Determination, then discipline. Discipline is every moment, some people, almost every moment of the day you're making choices when it comes to food. And you just got to make the right choice. Okay? Now, let me answer a few questions. One of them was about fruit. Okay? Now, what do I call fruit? I think if you get this, it's really important because I didn't mention it yesterday, I guess. But fruit is not permitted for 30 days. Do I like fruit? I love fruit. But they're God's candies. And remember, we went through the whole philosophy of this yesterday. And that was the 93% of the population are upside down, are in trouble, are in bad health. And most of them don't know it because we're not trained to look at metabolic syndrome. We're not so much interested in insulin. We're more interested in blood sugar. Where we should be interested in insulin resistance, because as Dr. Berkman says, okay, it is at the root of all chronic disease. I've said that in several books, and I'll say it again. There's the thing that you can control in your life, and that's what you put in your mouth every day. So do I like fruit? Yes, I love fruit. But if you're on the reset, no, for 30 days. Okay? And they're God's candies. You don't live on fruit. You can go on Netflix, go on anything else, and you're going to get propaganda. Okay? Because people say, Dr. Martin, fruits and vegetables are better for you. No, they're not. I'm not saying they're no good. I didn't say that. I'm saying they're not as good for you at all compared to, okay, eggs, meat, and cheese. They're just not. Okay? So, fruit, I like. I like it as a candy. God's candies. Okay? But you can have fruit, and I wouldn't have much of it. if you're in that 93%. Now, if you take yourself out of that 93% by doing the reset, you're on a narrow road. So for the rest of your life, that's all. This is as long as you want to be healthy. You be very, very careful. Okay? Be very careful with fruit. Don't live on it. Okay? Got it? Does that sound right to you? Well, that's the answer I give to people asking about fruit. They're God's candies. Now, here's another question that was asked. I saw it yesterday on our private Facebook group. I said, I might as well answer it. I've answered it before, but I'll do it again. Dr. Martin, what about our blood type? How about eating for our blood type? Okay? Now, I'd have to go look back because I spent a whole podcast on that, maybe two. And I have very personal experience with this, okay? And I've told you this story before, but I'll repeat it. In what year was it? I'm going to say 1999, but it might have been, I think it was that year. Could have been 98, 99, whatever, okay? A long time ago. I was in Anaheim, California, in the biggest conference on health, our alternative health, in the world. Thousands and thousands of delegates. And I had written a book on chronic fatigue syndrome, and I was invited to speak there at that conference. And Rosie and I went down. It was nice, Anaheim, California. And I spoke. I did a presentation on that book. And on the stage, after me, I believe, or before me, I can't remember now exactly, there was a guy named Dr., and I think his first name was Peter Debunking. And he was introducing a book called Eating for Your Blood Type. Okay? I think 1999, I could be wrong. And I listened to the presentation. The guy was no dummy, very smart. But his premise was wrong. Okay? And in my head, as soon as I got the information, by the way, I don't close my mind. I don't have a closed mind. Okay? I take in information. But then I filter it through what I know. And he was saying that, because of evolution and man's evolutionary process, that was his whole theory. And then because of our blood types, we should eat certain foods. And I'm going, well, that can't be right. Okay? That can't be right. Because I think he mentioned, I can't remember what the type of blood was, and he said those people can't eat or shouldn't eat any meat, especially red meat. Well, right away, my flags went up. I said, well, how can that be true? Can't be true. I says, I agree with eating for your blood type. Okay? Prick your finger. If it comes out red, you need to eat eggs, meat, and cheese. That's eating for your blood type. You are a human being. Type O, type whatever it is for your blood. It don't matter with that. Your body was designed. I felt like putting my hand up. I didn't want to interrupt this lecture. But I felt like putting my hand up and said, why are human beings? Why do we have a different pH in our stomach than a rabbit, than a cow? Why do we have such an acidic pH in our stomach? Absolutely to eat red meat. And another question I wanted to ask him was this. Okay, so your blood type says you shouldn't eat red meat. How in the world are you going to get B12 other than taking a supplement of B12? How are you going to get high DHA without taking a supplement? How are you going to get L-carnitine, L-carnosine, L-glutamine? How are you going to get those amino acids? How are you going to get, your body makes CoQ10, but how are you going to increase your CoQ10 without eating red meat? How can you do it? Yesterday we talked about choline. Or maybe it was last week. Choline. How important that is for you. How important choline is as a precursor to acetylcholine, which is really important neurotransmitter in your brain. How are you going to get that without eating eggs, meat, and cheese? No, you can't. So all I'm saying to you is this. It's a good question because, look, the guy might be smarter than me, Dr. Debunking. Look, I sold 50,000 books, I think, of chronic fatigue syndrome. Yeah, at least that. Like, it was a real big seller back in those days. And I was very thankful for that. And it got me traveling all over the world to speak on chronic fatigue syndrome, okay? But Dr. Debunking, he made millions. I mean, he made millions of dollars on his book. But it wasn't true. It wasn't true. And as a matter of fact, if you look at all of medicine today, or nutrition, they don't even talk about, I mean, there's a few people still talking about eating for your blood type. But you know what? It was never true. It was a theory he had. And, good for him. But it wasn't true. Don't eat for your blood type. Well, dude, I want you to eat for your blood type. You're a human being. Eat like a human being should. You were given an acidity in your stomach to eat red meat. You were given that. And the reason that people have such trouble with their digestive tract, I'm telling you, one of the biggest reasons we see so much IBS, so much digestive issue, because people have gone crazy on fiber. Because they bought the lie of fiber is the greatest thing, I was going to say since sliced bread. Don't eat sliced bread either. But it was the cereal companies. It was Dr. Kellogg's who convinced the world that fiber. And then they said, oh, you know what fiber does? Besides make you go to the bathroom and have a big number 2. You know what fiber does? It lowers your cholesterol, Dr. Martin. I said, why do you want to lower your cholesterol for? I want you to elevate your cholesterol. But guys, I'm telling you, I seen this happen. Look, like I said, there's so much that's gone on. This year, 2024, is 50 years for me. Okay? Post-graduation. My word. 50. Okay? I've been around a long time. But we've seen so many things. And eating for your blood type was, everybody talked about it, and then it went like this, because it wasn't true. It's not true. Okay? It's not true. Your blood type is human being. You have different blood than any other animal. I can't give you a transfusion of a pig's blood. You're a human being. And you need eggs, meat, and cheese. That's what your body was designed for. I'm not saying you can't eat fruits or vegetables. I'm not saying that. That's the plant kingdom. Are plants good? Yep. They're all right, but they're not made to live on. You see how the world has turned that upside down today? So I wanted to answer that question, okay, about those two questions on that I saw yesterday, okay? Was there any others? I think that was it. What about fruit and eating for your blood type? Okay, now there might have been other questions. I didn't see it. Now, okay, here's another one. You want to get me going? Oh, okay. You want to get me going? Talk to me about these new designer medications. Okay. Everybody and their dog wants to get on these designer weight loss medications. You know, Big Pharma, I give them credit. They are marketing geniuses. Who in the world, other than a few people, okay? Other than a few people, they want to lose weight. They want to lose weight. Actually, I'm not going to say almost everybody, but a lot of our wonderful followers are doing the reset to lose weight. Okay? Now, the reset primarily was not designed for weight loss, although if you want to lose weight, health-wise, if you want what your body actually needs to have healthy weight loss is losing fat, not muscle. But here's what those designer drugs do. New paper that just came out on it. I've said it right from the beginning of this. They're taking diabetic medications, okay? Diabetic medications like Ozempic and Wegovy. I think I pronounced that properly. Wegovy. Designer drugs. Hollywood drug. I call them Hollywood drugs because they want to lose weight. You know, they focus in on losing weight. And they want to do it fast. Well, you know what? These drugs work for weight loss. They do. Okay? Oh, hallelujah. No. Wait a minute. I didn't finish. But when you use these designer drugs, which have enormous side effects, by the way, can destroy your stomach and your gut forever. But listen to this. When you lose weight, you're losing muscle, not fat. You lose muscle, not fat. When you do the reset and you lose weight on the reset, you lose fat, not muscle. See the difference? See the difference? And this paper that was just recently published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, if it sounds too good to be true, it's because it's too good to be true. There's an enormous price to be paid when people use designer drugs. You know, they're almost out of them. It becomes so popular. Doctors, imagine going to a physician to lose weight. That's a mistake. Because doctors don't know anything about weight loss. Well, they do, but it's very superficial because it's eat less, move more. And by the way, I'll give you Ozempic. That'll help. Oh, it sure will, all right. People are so desperate to lose weight that they make themselves unhealthy doing it. It's not the right way to do it. And plus, here's another thing that this paper said. The minute you stop taking these designer drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy, all the weight comes back. And then some. Folks, I scream blue murder because I don't like what's happening out there. That these things are getting, like, the pharmacies can't even keep it in stock. It's so popular. And there's no pushback. Guys, you don't want to do that. It's not good for you. You're going to lose weight, all right, but you're going to lose muscle. That is serious business. Okay? That is serious business. And that's why I talk against it all the time. It just bothers me. And am I sympathetic to people that want to lose weight? You bet your boots I'm sympathetic. But if you don't put the cart before the horse. You want healthy weight loss. You want to be building muscle while losing fat. That is healthy weight loss. This is why the reset's so good, because you're eating fuel, protein, and fat, and you're laying off the carbohydrates. Someone asked me this morning, Dr. Martin, what carbs should I eat to build more muscle? I said, well, carbs don't build muscle. Carbs, when you break them down quickly, they go into glycogen in your muscles, and they might puff up your muscles temporarily. But if you want to build muscle, you need to eat protein to build muscle. Why do I call protein the king of the castle? And carbs are the dirty rascals. Okay? I'm not saying you can't have any carbs forever. I'm not saying that. Do you need them? No. You could live without them. You could live without them. The Inuit did. They didn't eat carbs. They lived on fat and blubber. Okay? Yeah. So all I'm saying, guys, is, when I read a paper like that and I go, you know what, it hardly will hit the mainstream media because they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about it. Okay. Now, let me just say this, okay? I've talked to you before about a term we call diabesity, okay? Diabesity. And look, I mean, all you have to do is not be blind. Use your eyes and look at the world today, okay? You and I are walking through a mall, or better yet, we'll sit down and have a coffee together, you and I. And we'll look at people today. What do we see? Big people. People are so much bigger than they used to be. True or false? It's true. What is that? Well, we've talked about it. When did it all change? Well, with the introduction of a new sugar called fructose, high fructose corn syrup. Okay? Directly related to the change of sugar. Okay? Now, but there's a thing called diabetes in a sense that, okay? People might not necessarily be a diabetic, but they really are. It's just that it hasn't been diagnosed because the way they diagnose diabetes or diabetic is when your blood sugar number goes above a certain number, then they tell you, oh yeah, now you're a diabetic. No, you were a diabetic long before that. And I can't emphasize the importance of your muscles, okay? I can't emphasize that enough. The importance of building muscle. So when I had patients that came to me, we had a weight loss clinic, but it was protein, 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 protein. It was eggs, meat, and cheese, eggs, meat, and cheese, eggs, meat, and cheese. It wasn't calories. It wasn't eat less and move more. I never believed in that. That's what we call yo-yo dieting. People are consumed. And then they want quick fixes like Ozempic and Wegovy. They want a quick fix. There's no quick fixes. What I want and what I used to teach in my clinic is I want to shift fuels. We're changing fuels. And I used to tell them, you're a turbo. And you're giving your turbo engine the wrong fuel. When you eat and live on carbs, and especially those crappy carbs, bread, pasta, rice, cereal, sugar, sweets, pastries, muffins, bagels, and milk, and juices. You're feeding the body the wrong fuel. You want the right fuel. I said, when you do that, when you switch, and you are eating primarily from the animal kingdom, and you're eating protein and fat, the way God designed your body, your body was designed for that. I said, when you get that, now your body, okay, is getting the right fuel. Plus, okay, step one, fuel. Step two, get strong. Why? Because muscles, metabolically, is one of the greatest tools that you could have to store glycogen. The bigger the bins, the better it is for your liver. Because if you can store, especially in your legs, look at people today. They're big. And then you see them with, they got no butt. Or they might have a big butt. No, but you see a lot of that people. That, my friend, when you're bigger like that and you got sarcopenia, you have muscle wasting. That's one of the worst things, because muscles help you metabolically. They help with insulin resistance. They help to keep your liver empty. And so people are walking around, they have no idea. They're taking these designer drugs. Oh, I'm losing weight. Yeah, but you're losing muscle. Your insulin is still going up. Your insulin resistance is worse. And you're very unhealthy, even if you're losing weight, because you're doing the wrong thing. I tell you, the biggest part of what I did in the office, and some of you met me in my clinic, you know what I'm talking about. I was a teacher. Teach. You know, in medicine today, just shut up and listen is what they're saying, right? Instead of saying, let me explain this to you. No, they just say, I'm the doctor. You don't know anything. So here's what you should do. I don't like that. I used to teach. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Anywho. Okay. Guys. Okay, I'm breathing. Promise. Okay. We love you guys. You know that. I think you know it. If you don't, we should. Okay? We should. If you're doing the reset, no fruit. Okay? Either for 7 days or 30. Which one are you doing? Tell us so we can give you encouragement. It's good to sign up in a way. You just tell everyone on our private Facebook group, hey, I'm in on the reset. Okay? I think it's important you do that. Just to tell us you're doing it. Okay? And remember, my name is Tony and I'm a carbaholic. I constantly, remember the discipline part, constantly got to make the right choices every day. Okay? Okay, guys, we love you. We'll talk to you soon.